Hello toy collecting fans, Universal Toy Collector here and welcome to the channel. And welcome to another episode of My Collecting Life, the series where I get to speak to you, members of the toy collecting community, about your own personal collections, what got you into collecting in the first place, and what gives you that toy collecting buzz. Okay, so we have another fantastic guest on today's episode. Let's have a look at some of his collection in a musical montage. Okay, again, another fantastic collection, and it was displayed immaculately. Some of you may have spoken to him before on a Discord or on previous chats and stuff like that. But I'd like to welcome Trenten Dodson to the channel. Welcome, Trenten. How are you doing?
Doing well, Stu. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Oh, no,
Excited.
thank you for accepting. Real pleasure speaking to you properly, and instead of over the keyboards and stuff like that. So
Exactly.
you know what it's about. Run time's about an hour. Got 10 questions for you. It's all about you, so just take your time with the questions, and let's get going. So, first question: what are your memories growing up as a kid, and what toy lines were you into?
Yeah, boy, I was into a lot when I was a kid, and it's kind of funny, watching some of these shows previously and thinking about it myself. Like, man, I was into a lot of things, and I mean, I had Mask, a little bit of Mask. I had a little bit of Superpowers. I had Robo Force. But there's really I think the things I really focused on for me were Lego, Star Wars, and G.I. Joe. Yeah, I had a little bit of Masters of the Universe, but not, maybe 2 or 3 figures. But it all started for me with Lego. And I can vividly remember on Christmas mornings getting, the small space sets, way back then when space came on the scene. And, my brother and I, we would take we would take pieces of cardboard and draw like little moonscapes, and we drive those guys around on there. And we would always get the small ones. We'd never get like the big bases. So we kind of had to make our own, and we would usually do that out of cardboard and whatever we could find around the house. And Lego, has persisted throughout my entire life. I have probably more Lego than anything. And most of it is from like 80 to about 95 or so. And then really started getting into it when the Star Wars came out again. But so Lego started it off for me. That's the one I can really remember. And the one I can really remember wanting, I want all of them. I want to get them all. And when you're, 5, 6, 7 years old, you're not getting them all. So
I mean, Lego almost went bust, didn't they? They almost went out of business because they weren't doing so well. I think it was the mid 80s, wasn't it, or something like that? Or
I think it was in the 90s, and 90s. Kind of when I think 90, and I think Star Wars. I don't know 100%, but I think Star Wars kind of brought it back. Once they licensed Star Wars, I think it was really going gangbusters after that. And truth be told, that's that mid to late 90s is kind of when it tapered off for me. In college, I got a few sets, but I was really involved in a lot of stuff, sports and all that kind of thing, and kind of got out of it for a while. And then it was when the prequels came out is when I got back into Lego pretty good. And it's been that way pretty much since.
Wow.
So Lego's been one big one. And then, I was right at the age Empire Strikes Back came out, the first movie I remember seeing.
Yeah.
And you know how back then the movies, they were in the theater forever, right? Yeah, and I didn't see it until winter. So I remember standing in line waiting for the movie theater. My mom took us during the day. And I remember waiting in line and it was snowing. And I don't know if this plays any part of it, but to this day, take anything in Star Wars, Hoth scene is my favorite. Yeah. Because that's the first thing that's the first time I saw Star Wars was Empire Strikes Back. So that's, by far and away my favorite. Anything Empire Strikes Back, I had the sheets, I had the pajamas, I was crazy about it. And then I think sometime later, I saw Star Wars probably on TV or a VHS or a Laserdisc, something.
Yeah.
But I can remember, again, Christmas, the very first Star Wars, anything I got was the Slave One, Boba Fett. I think I got Bosk, Han Solo and his Tauntaun, And then the next Christmas, we got the Rebel Command Center with Luke and another Tauntaun. So we were getting a lot of Empire Strikes Back stuff. And then went to a garage sale one summer, and this is crazy. I wish this would happen today, right? But I go to a garage sale one summer with my mom. We get the Death Star playset, the Millennium Falcon, an X-Wing, a TIE Fighter, tons of figures. I think I got the Dewback then. Just all this stuff. I'm sure for hardly anything. It's all.
That's crazy, isn't it? Wow.
Wish I still had all that, but So that's how I got all like the Star Wars stuff. And then of course, Return of the Jedi comes out. I remember going to that with my buddy, just at the local theater in our little town. And, I think I had the speeder bike before the movie even came out, but I remember getting a couple of the speeder bikes with some Scout Troopers, Jabba, a lot of figures. They didn't really have many vehicles from that line. But that age, that's the stuff. And so, we were playing that stuff all the time, but we would play it role play. Remember being on our bikes, pretending they're speeder bikes, going through the woods and that kind of,
you don't let kids do that these days, do you?
No, it's pretty wild. I've been pretty fortunate with my kids. No video games, no phones, and they're into Black Series. So believe it or not. And so they'll take their Black Series in their room. There's not a lot of stuff to go with it. So they make, I was like, you can make stuff. So they're making bases and vehicles out of whatever they can find. My daughter just made a speeder bike out of a bottle, Coke bottle. And so it's been pretty cool to see them, still want to play with toys and be creative that way.
Oh, that's
And
awesome. Absolutely awesome.
that's kind of how we had to be, you know. I didn't, you know, we had a lot of toys, I guess, but you know, you're still, you know, I never had an AT-AT, and I always wanted one, and I wasn't 40 till I got one of those. So, but yeah, and then it was GI Joe. So kind of as Star Wars started to fade, I was kind of at the right age, 10, 11, 12, when GI Joe came out, or not came out, but when you know, it kind of died down, Star Wars, and I got into GI Joe. And what really helped was my cousin, who was a few years older than me, had like a Hiss and a Stinger and a bunch of figures, and my mom bought those from her sister for me. Oh, wow. So that started off. So now I was the Cobra guy, and my brother got all the GI Joe stuff, you know. And so, you know, Rattler, I remember getting a Rattler for my birthday, and the hydrofoil for Christmas from my grandma. And so I would get all the Cobra, and he'd get all the GI Joe, and then we, you know, have all of our battles that way.
That Rattler and hydrofoil that you've sent in the pictures, are they your original? They're not.
Nope. I have one thing from my childhood from GI Joe, and that's the backpack for a bat. All the other GI Joe, we beat the heck out of that stuff. I can shudder to think. I remember like throwing the Rattler when it got shot by the Sky Strike. I remember throwing it and crashing it down, having the hydrofoil in like a little kiddie pool. Yeah, you know, floating it. And we beat the snot out of those things. The only thing I really have a significant amount of stuff, I guess, from childhood is some Star Wars, some Empire Strikes Back, some Star Wars stuff, and then a lot of Lego still. So like this Darth Vader case, that's my case when I was a kid. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And quite a few figures. Still have my Tauntauns and stuff like that. But the G.I. Joe stuff is gone. And when I started thinking, I was like kind of getting back into the figures, you know, later on in life, I thought I'd just get all the stuff I had when I was a kid with G.I. Joe, or at least Cobra. I'd never had any G.I. Joe when I was a kid, all Cobra. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to get one Crimson Guard. I'm going to get 5. And I'm not going to get one Snow Serpent. I'm going to get, you know. So I started kind of going, oh, then I never had, you know, I never had this, never had that. So it started kind of snowballing. You know how it is. So.
Easily done. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that Rattler looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, that is in such good condition. I mean, that looks amazing on display.
I got super lucky. I got that off eBay, you know, several years ago, and they packed it immaculately. It was well packaged because you think we talked via email. I'm in Alaska, so everything has to get shipped a long way to get to me. And when they can pack it well, it's really, really nice. As I was nervous.
Because the wheels on the Rattler, you know, the wheels that fold down, they were quite weak, weren't they?
And the wheels are intact. I just left them. I left them up, and I got that flight stand for it. So, or they're down. I got the flight stand for it. And
that's absolutely amazing. That is. I'm hoping that Hasbro or HasLab do a Rattler, because I'll be all over that for sure. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Just sort those wheels out. And then,
I saw somebody online 3D printed a classified scale Rattler.
Oh,
6-inch Rattler. It's like, holy cow.
Awesome.
Where do I sign up for that?
So, out of all the toy lines that you were into as a kid, did you have a favorite toy line, or did you just go, well, this is Lego, I'm going to be into this. Okay, now I'm going to move on to Star Wars. Now I'm going to move on to G.I. Joe. Did you have a favorite out the lot, or?
Yeah, I'd say Lego probably was my favorite, because that continued. Like I said, I would get Lego. I remember even in junior high, riding my bike into town and going to the 5 and Dime and buying a small, you know, city Lego set or small town Lego set. And even in high school, I got a castle, and, you know, just kind of, they're fun. You can justify, because they're like a model, right? So they're like, building a model. So and then through college, I scuba dive, and they came out with a diving series. So I started getting all the divers sets, and so Lego, I think, has always kind of been my favorite. And then but combine that with Star Wars, right? So then Star Wars Lego comes out. And it's like, oh, this is made for me. So, and I love building toys, because I've got all the Mega constructs Masters of the Universe sets, and been kind of going back. And I don't know if I didn't even know that Hasbro had a building block set called Creo.
Oh,
and they
okay.
made some GI Joe stuff. So I went back and started kind of getting some of that stuff. That's pretty interesting. The figures are pretty cool. So yeah, I've always kind of been into that kind of stuff, and it's fun here, particularly in the winter. It gets so cold you don't even go outside. So kids now put a big table up, and we'll just make a town, or we'll make a scene from Star Wars on it, building all that stuff. And so that's been probably my favorite.
So you create your own landscapes and stuff like that. Then it's not specifically Lego, like Star Wars Lego. You just get any kind of Lego and just build your own sets and stuff.
Yeah. So we'll get the sets, but then either on eBay or Bricklink, we'll just get a bunch of parts, either plates or pieces, and we'll build one time we built a big Hoth scene and used a lot of white pieces to make this terrain, and built all the little trenches and stuff, and then we'll get all of the city sets and put out the road pieces, and so it's a really kind of fun thing, and I've tried to start doing that with some of the figures, because the figures I just kind of stash away, and I'm like, okay, you can't touch that Slave One. don't ever touch that. But the newer stuff, especially the Origins, we just got those out the other day. I just moved recently, so they're all in a box, but we just got them out the other day and played with them, posed them up, came up with different scenarios, and so those are really cool with the new articulation and stuff. So
definitely.
Yeah, so they really liked that. That was a lot of fun. And so it's kind of want to use these a little bit, and just instead of staying in a box. So
you have you got any of the Ultimate Collection series, the big sets for Lego?
Yeah.
Or have you not got those?
I really want that AT-AT. I was jealous when Gary got it. Gary Moore picked it up, and I was like,
oh wow, yeah.
I was like, man, I need to get that. The only UCS sets I have, I got the Hoth one. So they came out with the Hoth UCS set maybe 5-6 years ago now. I don't know, it was a while ago. It came with a snow speeder and the Echo Base and that kind of thing. And I slept on the Cloud City. I should have got that. Now that's $700. So I didn't. That's the only UCS. That's the only UCS set I have. So, but these 18 plus sets have been pretty cool. Like the new, the Dagobah one, and they got the trash compactor. Those are kind of neat. I got the Dagobah one, and, the Probot and that kind of stuff. So. Yeah,
I mean, for what it is, Lego, I do feel it's quite expensive, isn't it? Especially
it is.
Any branded like Star Wars, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, it is all quite expensive these days.
And it's gotten more expensive as time goes on, for sure. Yeah,
definitely. That's a bit of that's the only thing that puts me off getting more Lego is the price of it. The last Lego I got was the Star Wars 20th anniversary Lego sets. I think there was 5 sets in total, and the last one I got was the Slave one.
Yeah,
and I was umming and ahhing about getting that, but then they released another one from the Book of Boba Fett with Boba Fett Starship. So they weren't going to name it Slave One anymore. So I think, right, I'm getting this because it's going to be the last box that you're going to have Slave One on there. So I thought I'm going to get that. So I've managed to get it. So
good.
They're still in the box. I've not opened them. So
that's a good set. That's a good set, and it comes with Zuckuss. That's what's really cool about it. So I needed that one to complete all the bounty hunters. So I was like, I'm getting that one.
So you've got that as well, yeah?
Yeah. I got it. Like you said, I got all those 20th anniversary sets, and I just put this one together this morning. I got.
Oh wow! Okay.
And
awesome.
What was the only Attack of the Clones set to come out this year in the Attack of the Clones anniversary, but. Look at that. It comes with Ton Wheat.
Look at that.
Wow. Kaminoan, right? So
sweet.
We need that in a Black Series figure, right? But I just picked this guy up, and so I'm still getting them, and not as many as I used to. Need to make some entertainment that I prefer, and I'll get the sets that goes to those. So so Lego's probably number one, and Star Wars got to be a is a close second.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised that that you've gone with Lego, and I think it's great because everybody's like gone for the big three at the time, which was like Transformers, GI Joe, or Star Wars, and everybody sort of picked one of those three. So it's cool to like hear different people's favorites as a kid, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
So when did you realize then that you were a collector? Because again, saying it to like other people I've chatted to, you get to your teens, you think you're too old for toys, you get into sports or your girlfriends and stuff like that, or you're doing adult things and whatever. So when was it that you realized that, hang on a minute, I'm a toy collector? What was that going on there?
I think probably always was. It's just suppressing it, right? And then over time my mom would be moving, and she'd clean out the attic, and here's a box. And so she sent me a box of my old Lego, and I was like, oh, these are great. And started putting those together again and started picking up some sets. And then she'd move again and sent me a box of all my Star Wars, what was left of it. And I was like, oh, these are great. And right about Rogue One comes out, and I keep going to the Walmart, and I keep seeing when Walmart used to have action figures, and I kept seeing all, and man, that would be cool. That would be cool. And so I got this guy. That was my first new action figure I picked up, right? And I told myself, I'll only get the troops. And it's just started snowballing. And then the TVC put out the tank, the assault tank, and I got to get that. Thing's cool. And so Rogue One, that was it. I just started getting the figures, and I started, and I need a carded one. And that took off, and I was like, yep, I guess I'm collecting. Then I started going on eBay and getting, old Kenner Slave One, and all that stuff, and GI Joe, and now I can go on eBay and get all the old GI Joe stuff I used to have. And I never really had a lot of Masters of the Universe. I'll go get So now I got, with vintage Masters, I never had them, but I love the cartoon, and I like the evil guys. So I think I got all the figures from when they came out through 85. Okay. And I just need to start getting, going down to 86 and moving that way. But it's just, Snake Mountain, and it's like, how it is. You just,
I do.
I never had these, so I want to see what they're like. And
I think it's great because I often think, because I predominantly started off with Star Wars vintage, the original Kenner Star Wars figures, and I ended up getting the bounty hunter. I got Dengar because he was one of my favorite characters as a kid, and I thought he looked so cool as a figure. And then I thought, well, I've got him, I might as well get the rest of the bounty hunters. So I got the rest of the bounty hunters. Then I'm thinking, well, these are an Empire Strikes Back. So what I'll do now is I'll get and it just builds, doesn't it? And and then it was in 2020 when I started watching guys on YouTube and stuff like that, and seeing all these different figures and I'm like, I want that, I want that, and I want that. So it's like Motu, it's like Transformers, it's GI Joe, and even the McFarlane Batman figures, DC Multiverse figures, and stuff like that. And the Marvel, and it's just like, it does. And before you know it, it snowballs, and you're like, wow, crazy.
I was, and for me, it was a perfect storm because, like I said, it was like my parents sending me my old stuff, Rogue One coming out. I started watching a lot of YouTube videos and started watching like Retro Blasting and that. Seeing all his stuff. I was like, holy moly. And I'm just glad I didn't grow up in the 90s, or I'd have like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff to deal with too. And it's like, that's never ending.
Listen, I find, because I'm debating with myself about Fortnite.
Oh,
and I'll tell you for why. That's Bobo from the Foosh.
Yes.
I don't know if you know. I watch him, and I love his beef box. It's just the stupid voice he does with it. And it's just like, there's such an, so I'm wanting to dip my hand in, but I know that if I do, then won't just be him. It'll be other characters in that line, and I don't have the room for that. So
I got one Fortnite figure. I got Havoc because he looks just like Firefly from GI Joe.
Yes, yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, he looks more like Firefly than the classified Firefly. So
yeah, that classified Firefly was quite disappointing, wasn't it?
I was excited to see they're going to release a new one. Did you see that? They announced.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they're going to release a redesigned Firefly. So I was like, oh, cool. Yeah.
Like the original, yeah, like the original 80s.
I think I have a feeling it'll be more like the original, because you can see they're kind of leaning. They kind of
Back that way, aren't they? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they kind of shifted the way they're designed and gone more towards the end.
I'm so glad with that, because I mean they do look fantastic. The earlier ones, like the Roblox Scarlet and Duke, they were just awful, you know. But
and then they come out with the bat and the I got the Army build the bat. That thing's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. And they got some good announcements out, so I'm pretty excited. I think probably right now that's one of the that class G.I. Joe Classified is probably one of the most excited about. Just seeing,
because they're now doing them on the 6-inch card, aren't they? The classified figures on the original card with the bubble. I think, is it the 40th anniversary?
No, it's 40th anniversary of Motu.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, that's it. Mostly, yeah.
Because they've been branding some of their stuff with 40th anniversary.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, I've got the Revelations figures. I think they display really well.
You know, I was kind of holding off on those. So one of my mini focuses is Merman. It was one of the figures I had when I was a kid. So, and I don't like the Merman they did for that. It's no armor. It's the scarred up guy. Yeah. So I was kind of holding off on that. And then they dropped that New Eternia Skeletor. I was like, that. So I got him, and then I was like, well, I got him, so I better I think I got Stinkor and Scareglow, and then they announced Too Bad, and that Too Bad looks great. So I'm like, I'll pick.
It's dangerous, isn't it? It really is. You just watch all these things and stuff like that, and all these like reveals, and you're just like, oh. But I mean, do you find it like space is an issue with you? You find?
Well, yeah, and so I just moved this spring. I was living more remote than I am now, and so I moved closer to civilization. I'm still 3 hours from Target. So Target exclusives are very hard to get, but I got more space, much more space now. So I'm kind of taking it slow to kind of, it's been nice because watching other collectors and kind of seeing how they display stuff. I was like, oh, that looks cool. I want to try that. And the carded for me has been the hardest to figure out how I want to do it, because those take up a lot of wall space or however you do it. So I right now mostly have just my Star Wars stuff out, and some of it, and a little bit of the G.I. Joe like you saw there, but a lot of it's still packed away, and just kind of slowly piecing it together. So it's like, wait, I thought I got a bigger house. How am I running out of room already?
It's easily done though, isn't it? It's easily done.
Yeah.
Awesome. What would you class as your most prized part of your collection? So if you had to you could only take one piece with you and have to leave everything else behind, what would that be?
Yeah, it's funny because you'd ask guys this, I'm watching them, you'd ask guys this. So I had a little time to think about it. So I got a little show and tell here. So it's this, believe it or not. This was my lunchbox when I was a kid. It's beat up. I still have it. I remember going to school with this guy. I mean, this thing, there he is with the bounty hunters and Lando.
That is awesome.
It still has the thermos.
Wow.
So they re-released this. They really re-released this a while ago, but I still have my original, and I thought, that's a piece of my history as a kid, my parents. So the sentimental choice was the Empire Strikes Back.
Definitely. That is such a throwback.
Yeah. It's metal, and I mean, it's dented and chipped, but I still have it.
Because these days they're all plastic, aren't they? I think they made like a plastic or something like that or whatever.
Yeah, unless they kind of re-released I think they re-released that a while ago as like a collectible, but that's the original there. So I think that's what I would, if it was a fire, that was what I would grab when I get out.
Wow, it's got all the dinks and everything like that, and the rusting and stuff. Well, that is.
Yep.
So how long have you had that? When did you get that? What age were you?
I would have had to have this when I was a first grader. So 6.
Wow.
You know, I was born in 75, so 1981. I got this.
Yeah. That is unbelievable. And
Yeah,
and that's been that's been with your mum. Did she keep that in a loft or a attic or whatever?
Yeah. This was with her, and she's probably like, again, she sent me a whole box of stuff. So it's late 2015, 2016, some around that time, she sent this to me, and I was like, yeah. So
Did you remember? Did you remember that you had that, or had you completely forgotten about it?
No, I remember, because I just remember throughout, you know, early adulthood, college, early adulthood, going, you know, to her house and seeing, you know, I'd go kind of rummage through my old boxes and stuff. And I remember seeing this throughout the, you know, the course of the year. So, but I mean, I probably hadn't seen it in a decade, you know, and so it just kind of back of my mind. And so I get that, oh yeah, I remember it. Yeah, I remember this thing. And
how awesome is that when you don't see it for a long time, then you you see it up in about 15 odd years and you think, oh wow. And you know what I mean? That is such an amazing feeling, isn't it?
Well, that's how it was. I opened that up and I was like, oh, here's my old Dewback, and here's my old Tauntaun, and you know, Hoth Luke, Hoth Han, and I couldn't believe, still had my Darth Vader, and you know, my, without the cape, of course, but I still had him. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, because I got rid of all my Star Wars stuff. It was given to a close friend of the family, and when I was young, well, I must have been about 14, 15.
Yeah.
And it was up in the loft, and my dad said, you don't want that up in the loft anymore, do you? And I was like, well, and I felt kind of put on the spot, because the guy was standing there with my dad, and I'm like, and I thought I had to make it, because at that age, I was thinking, I've got to make decisions, and I've got to make them now. So I made the decision of like, no, I don't want it anymore. I put on a butch voice, I don't want it anymore, Dad, you know, you take it, sort of thing. Sure. And oh God, a couple of weeks later, we went round, and it was just figures in bits and bits broken up, and I was just, oh, what have I done? And by that time, it's too late. You can't, you know, he's got it.
It's gone. Yeah. And I was sort of the recipient of that. Like I said, when we got my cousin's G.I. Joe stuff, because he was too old, I guess, and I was the right age, so I was on the other end of that. And so yeah.
Oh, blimey. So, Trenten, do you have a Grail piece? Is there one item, whether it be Lego, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, that you would want above anything else, and if you had the money, you would pay it no matter what it's going to cost?
Yeah, picking one's always tough for me, but I think it's kind of, this will be a little off the script here. I think might come out of left field, but it's actually the Terrordrome from G.I. Joe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That thing is so cool. And I've been to a toy store originally from Indiana, and I went home last summer, and I went to a toy store, and they had one. And I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is great. I have the Fire Bat, but I don't have the Terrordrome. And I'm like, good luck trying to get one here. The shipping alone for it would cost more than the piece. But I think that would just be, oh man, I would love it. I'd love to have that. I could put all my figures around it, put the hiss in there, and the stinger. And I think that would be the one. If I could get that, I think that's what it would be. I think the other stuff I could probably get that I want, but that one's going to be tough. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trying to find that on eBay or something like that for a decent price, and in good nick is going to be heavy going, isn't it?
Yeah, and then like I said, you know, trying to get it shipped here. A lot of people won't ship stuff that big here for sure, and I don't blame them. It's tough. It's a lot of packing it up and making sure it doesn't get damaged and stuff. So, well, that would be it. I think. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so sorry. Go on.
I think that would be it. I think it'd be a real nice, good condition Terrordrome for me.
Yeah, because I mean, I know a lot of people in the States have a lot of issues with some of the shipping services, especially from like Target and Walmart and stuff like that, where the stuff comes damaged. So even Amazon to a degree.
Yeah. I've been somewhat lucky not having things damaged too much for shipping. Believe it or not, the Ahsoka that came in the box, you know, not with the bubble, with the box was crushed.
Oh wow!
They shipped it in an envelope, so the box got crushed. It's like, of all things.
Who would do that? I mean, who in their right mind thinks, I tell you what, let's put this in an envelope. Yeah, what is going? What is?
Walmart.
I don't get it.
Walmart thinks that. Yeah.
No, come
So
on, man. That's
I haven't had any issues with Target because I have not been able to purchase anything that Target will ship here, which is
okay.
crazy. So every Target for me is an eBay exclusive. I have to get it, and eBay people really pack stuff well. So
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Jeez. I've noticed in your collection you had some helmets. What got you interested in collecting helmets, and which one was your first one?
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I got that Darth Vader helmet, and you didn't see it. It wasn't on display because it's down there by my TV, and I didn't take
Oh, okay.
So the Darth Vader helmet, yeah, I got it for me, and I was like, oh man, this thing's great, and they aren't that much. I was surprised at, because I was looking at some of the more. You look at some of those on Big Bad Toy Store. If you look at the helmet section, they're like $700, $809.
Wow.
They're, the like cosplay style made ones, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the Hasbro ones were like, I mean, they're still, 100 something, but they're like, well, that's doable. And then it's the, same deal. It's like, oh, I can get a Stormtrooper. I've always wanted a Stormtrooper, and I can get Wedge. And, so I started getting those right about after I got the Darth Vader one.
Yeah.
And then the lightsabers followed.
Wow.
I do have a few of those. I got the Emperor. I got Palpatine's, Dooku.
Oh wow.
Dooku's one of my favorite characters, so I had to get the Dooku one. That hilt is awesome. And then Asajj Ventress, they had an Asajj Ventress one too. Wow. And if you got two, you can connect them. So I got two of those.
Okay.
And then the Darth Vader, they had a Darth Vader one, but you couldn't remove some of them you can't remove the blade.
Okay.
But I found a guy on eBay that had gone and got a Parks exclusive Darth Vader lightsaber where the blade came out. I think he was in Florida. Okay. So I got that one. So I've got those 5. I tend to gravitate towards the red ones, the bad guys. So yeah.
So the ones you got, are they the helmets and the lightsabers? Are they Black Series ones?
They're all black. Yeah, I have all Black
Series.
Yeah. Yeah, even that Darth Vader one was a Black Series Disney exclusive or something like that, and it was Rogue One labeled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's all black, all the Black Series ones, and so the helmets you saw there, and then I do have 2 First Order helmets that are in the closet.
Oh, okay.
First Order Stormtrooper, but
and I've also see you got some sideshow Hot Toys.
Yeah. So what happened was, I got sort of like a kind of a mini focus on Hoth Luke, because for me that's the first time I ever saw Luke Skywalker. I can just vividly remember him on the Tauntaun, and so you got Luke, you got a Tauntaun, you got a Wampa, so Hoth Luke's kind of always been a focus of mine, and I was so excited when my brother got him as a kid, not me. So to make up for it, I got a bunch of Hoth Lukes. And so Sideshow made a Hoth Luke.
Yeah.
And he was been well out of circulation, but I got him on eBay, and I was like, wow, these are so great. And then right about then, 40th anniversary of Empire comes out, and they release Darth Vader. They release Boba Fett. So I got those guys. And then I found a place in Hong Kong that still had the Dooku.
Okay.
Yeah, because Dooku I really like, and then I got Django to go with him, and then of course this Scarif squad leader started it all off, so I got a Scarif squad leader as well. And
they look great though, don't they? Don't they display well?
It's so hard for me to.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I want so many, but I'm like, all right, I gotta.
Yeah. Like once you dip your toe in, that's it, isn't it? You just get dragged in. It's like it's real quick. You think I'll just get that one, but the next thing you know, you're getting 2 or 3 of them. It's crazy.
Now they got the Bad Batch ones coming out. Oh man, and they got
really?
They've got right now you can get Echo and Hunter.
Oh, okay.
But they showed them all. I think they showed them all at not Celebration, maybe at San Diego Comic-Con. They showed the whole squad.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, those look so good.
Yeah.
And they Attack of the Clones anniversary, they have Phase 1 clone. So I might get the Phase 1 clone. I really like the Phase 1 clone. So
Again, they're a tidy price, aren't they? Along with the so with the lightsabers, were they roughly about the same price as the helmets then, or were they a little bit more?
Depends on what kind they are. So like the Emperor's was,
Yeah.
I think, an elite one. So the blade comes out. That one was a
Yeah.
little bit more. That might have been a couple hundred.
Okay.
But the other ones are 150-ish maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if
That's
I
not
recall.
so bad then. Yeah.
And I got the second Asajj Ventress on clearance, like on Amazon
Oh.
for like $100. It like
Wow. Okay.
it dropped down. I found someone that had it for cheaper. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I got that second one for a little bit less.
Is that the I think it's the legacy one from Galaxy's Edge. We've got the Luke Skywalker one from Return of the Jedi, the green one. And again, it's great. We've got it displayed, and I'd love to have it displayed with the light on all the time, but it just keeps making a whirring sound, and I've very low tolerance with that sort of thing. You know, you're sitting and trying to watch TV, and you got this in your ear all the time. Yeah, that's it. So I've got to turn it off. But they do look fantastic, don't they?
They look good lit up, yeah, for sure. And I'm trying to come up with a good way to display them. I got this beam up here. I might try to figure out how to have them on the beam or something. I don't know. They just look too good to keep in the box.
Oh yeah, because you get the box and you have the hilt, don't you? And then I had to get the blade separate. But I actually ordered because I got mine on the wall, so and it's facing upwards, so you got the hilt here with the blade coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And I got these like 2 brackets and stuff like that, and I got them from America. I couldn't get them over here. Absolutely ridiculous. So I had to. I went on eBay. Thought, oh, these look great. Got these, and then got them bloody hell, they're from America. So. So if I want to get them again, I've got to search down my search history to try and find what they were, and get them again, because we're going out there again in October, and we want to get Anakin's lightsaber, or Luke's from Empire, which was Anakin's.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
so we're looking at doing that and putting it next to the other one. Oh, yeah,
nice. Yeah, they're cool. I like them.
Your next question? Would you consider ever starting a YouTube channel?
Boy, I don't know. It's funny because my kids always think I should, because I'm always watching YouTube channels going, no, you're wrong. It's it's actually Sio Bibble, you know? So I don't know. Probably not. I think I love watching them. I get to interact a little bit. I'm actually kind of shy, believe it or not. I get to interact a little bit on the the Discord that we're on with Boss Bounty, and it's awesome to see what other guys are getting, and from all over the world. I think that's what's really cool. You got guys from Poland there and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. And
that's cool. But I don't know what I would talk about. Everybody's everyone kind of has a thing they do. Like either it's a review a toy, or it's talk about the latest in the news, or to do kind of their top 10s, this and that, and I just don't know I don't have a hook yet, so I'm I've
got to say it's I mean when I'm watching people, I think, oh wow, I'd love to do that, and because I was thinking about doing it in 2020 when we was in lockdown, and nothing sort of materialized. I'd written a list of all these different vlogs that I wanted to do. I'm going to talk about this week, and then next week I'm going to talk about that. And then I thought, well, don't really have the equipment, so to speak, to do it. And it was Scuba Pete that really got me into it, because he got me back onto Instagram sort of thing, because I come full social media. I've been on a couple of channels before, like you said, Tim last year with you. Then there was another guy, Michael Mercy, and I did some roundtables with him and chatting. And I always felt a bit like camera shy and stuff like that. So, but then anyway, I come off social media, and Pete got in touch with us and said, "Oh, join our Instagram group." And I'm like, "Wow, no, go on. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to post anything. Just come on and say hi to the guys and stuff like that." And okay, so I did that, and then one thing led to the other, and then I thought, well, because everybody's talking about certain things, and I like Star Wars, I like toy collecting, and I said, I just messaged Pete and said, "Do you want to do like a podcast thing or like a live stream thing once a month?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." It is like, he's so enthusiastic about stuff. And then there you go, and that's how I got started. And it is difficult to try and find something to do, because I don't do figure reviews. I mean, I open boxes, show you them, and then open up the figures and display them. Do like other little bits and bobs and stuff like that. But then I wanted to do something that was, I don't know, different from everybody else, because everybody has like these group chats and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I just thought of like a one-to-one sort of thing. But
Yeah.
it is difficult to try and find something that's like original and that no one else sort of like does, because there's so many people doing YouTube at the moment. So it is difficult. It's hard work as well.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. And
Time consuming.
you know,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't even know what goes on behind the scenes as far as the editing and putting together. And just, I'm sure, I watched that, 15-minute video for me, and it's like it probably took the person hours and hours to film it, put it together, edit it, put the music in,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it's fun, but it's hard work and stuff like that. So,
sure.
but I mean, would it be something that you would consider? It's not a definitely no, or it's a maybe. We'll see how things go. Or
Yeah, it's probably, if it was something I was, I think, boys, I'm hemming and hawing, aren't I? Probably not. I really like the dynamic, particularly when someone has a partner. When you have Scuba Pete on there and you guys are kind of get to go back and forth, or when you see someone in a lot of the other channels, they have maybe 3 or 4 people on a panel. If that cropped up for me or someone to work with, maybe, but I just don't think I have, I don't have enough to contribute, so confidence thing maybe, but yeah, I'm probably leaning more towards no. I'll just keep watching and
Fair enough.
participate. Yeah.
Moving on. Next question. If there was only one toy line going forward that you could collect, what would it be? If you had the choice of everything, but you only had one toy line that you could carry on collecting, what would it be?
Lego.
Yeah, that was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, you can just it can be anything you want. You can do anything with it. It's it's just, for me, it's fun. With the figures, they're cool. I get them out. I kind of I have fun putting them together. Yeah, this guy, putting the skiff together and getting all the guys for it, and that's really fun for me. But then it just kind of sits there. But with the Lego, it's hands-on. I'm doing stuff. I can change things around. I can come up with my own ideas, and I really enjoy that. And it's fun to do, with my son as well. He's 11 and he's really into them, and he can just sit there for hours putting together a set, and we can do that together and stuff. So I think Lego for me is just an all-around, anything toy for any age, and you can really interact with it.
Yeah, no, that's good shout. So when you build a Lego set, do you keep it displayed for a certain amount of time and think, yeah, I don't really want that one anymore, take it to pieces, and then get another one and build that and put that there? Or do you just, once they're built, they stay built?
No, it's exactly like you said. So I'll put one together. I kind of have it here and there. I got a few Empire Strikes Back ones out here at my desk, and then take that one apart, put it in a Ziploc bag, number it with its set number, put it in the tote, pull out a different one. We were just recently pulling out all the X-Wings and putting together all the X-Wings. So
yeah,
my son's got every X-Wing they've made, and so he's loves that. It's his second favorite ship. His favorite ship's the Y-Wing, and there aren't as many of those, but he's got some.
Yeah, that's a great ship. Yeah.
We've just been putting those together and just, on the evenings, throwing them down on the floor and building a set. So those will go up in his room somewhere, and we'll start over again maybe another week or two.
Because when my dad comes around, he's like, he'll knock into something and it'll be a typical bit of Lego, and you knock it over and it'll break. Why don't you bloody glue it? Why don't you glue it together? No, I'm not gluing it together. So you're definitely a believer of not gluing Lego.
Yes. Yeah. No, none of them are glued together. So
you must have loved the Lego movie when that came out.
Oh yeah, that was that was cool, because not to that extent, but that's kind of what how the dad had the big city there. It's not that scale, but that's what we'll do, is get out a big table and put out a bunch of the roads and build a little city, and all that stuff is pretty cool.
Awesome. Are you gonna would you see yourself getting like the Star Destroyer, UCS Star Destroyer, Millennium Falcon, anything like that?
Well, I think I'm going to get that AT-AT.
Yeah.
That is because that's like, when I was a kid, that's what I wanted. And
Yeah.
they've made smaller scale ones, and I've got all of those.
Yeah.
And this big one is just, oh man, it's just great. It's to
That's
scale
good,
to
isn't it?
it's to scale to a figure. It can, and
Yeah.
I've got enough snowtroopers to put in there, so I'll probably end up getting that one this fall. And I really like the gunship. They came out with the Attack of the Clones gunship.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not scaled to figures. It's overscaled, right? Because it's a smaller ship. So
Yeah.
I think I'd rather go back and get the one that was, more of a playset style one. But that's gone up in price quite a bit. I've got all the Attack of the Clone sets, but that one, and it's astronomical how much it costs.
Oh, yeah. It's rude, isn't it? It's just bloody prices. Okay, so we're coming up to the hour. I've got 2 questions left.
Sure.
The next one: what gives you that toy collecting buzz?
Wow. Well, I think for me, it's the hands-on part of it. Trying to go through the steps to get the stuff's not always so fun.
No,
but once I get it, I'm able to, get it out of the package, mess with a little bit, come up with a neat way to display it, or change it around. I'm probably obsessive. I'm constantly walking around this shelf, tweaking things, moving things around.
Yeah.
Same with my Black Series stuff. I just really enjoy that. It's kind of cathartic for me. It's just a way to kind of concentrate on something else, that not work or any of that other stuff, but it's just something to concentrate on, take my mind off of things. Lego really does that for me, following step-by-step instructions. And, it's always, you got a right way to do it. I think that's what I really enjoy. And really now that, my kids have always kind of been in the toys, but they're getting a little older, but they still are. And they almost more now, which is weird. So that's been really fun, is just kind of doing that with them and getting the figures out, putting together, posing them up, making scenes. Just been really enjoyable, and just coming up with new ways to display stuff's really, I just really love that.
So you say with your kids and stuff like that, do you think they've got more of an appreciation for their toys because of what you do with yours and how you display yours? And do you think that's going to rub off onto them?
Yeah, I think
do you find they look after their toys?
Yeah, I think, they really do. My son's really into, he's got kind of like a Jawa droid focus, and he's really into putting them in on his shelf. When he's done playing with them, they go up on the shelf in a little display. He's got his Lego Sandcrawler, and so he's really like that. My daughter's more into really playing with them and building, building stuff for them to go into, like making ships and that kind of stuff. And I think I think it's something they're going to, hold on to. And if they don't, I'm going to hold on to them. But I think, I think it's kind of rubbed off for sure, so.
Awesome. So what do they think about you being on like different chats and stuff like that? And what do they think about you with your collection? Have they said anything to you about it? Or?
Oh yeah. They think it's so funny, and, they'll come in and, they're like, oh, is little boss going to be on today? And, the Foosh, we got to watch, the Foosh is going to be, so they watch the shows right along with me. And, we watched, I watched your shows, and they watched a couple of the interviews, and I said, I'm going to be doing that next week. And so they're excited to see when it comes out and probably make fun of me.
No, I'm sure it'll be cool. I'm sure it'll be cool. Right. So, okay. Last question. What does your collection mean to you?
Yeah, I think just kind of on the same as last question. It's a way for me to relax. Just, and, I guess be creative too. It's kind of, everybody displays their stuff differently. And I think a lot of it also, a lot of it might be space, but a lot of it is just a creative outlet. People put stuff in certain ways in their house as a form of, in my mind, a form of creativity, right? It doesn't even have to be toys, just how you decorate your house is, kind of how you like things. And that's, for me, it's just a huge outlet. I mean, I wouldn't say my life's super stressful, but everybody has stressful stuff. And for me, it's just, in the evenings when I'm, kind of here by myself, I can open up something new. Maybe I'm like you, I got a bunch of stuff in boxes in the other room. And it's like, maybe I'll just open this tonight and, do something different. And that's what it's really been for me, especially, since I got back into it. It's weird. I just feel really more relaxed. It gives me something to look forward to. I have other hobbies. I fly fish and, do outside stuff as well. But like I said, in the winter here, it's pretty harsh. And so, you're inside a lot, and it's really given me something to do and stay focused on. And I just really enjoy it.
That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Because everybody's collection is personal to them in some sort of way. I mean, some people, they've got like big areas that they can display it in. Other people don't have such big areas, but they got loads, and a lot of it's in storage and stuff like that. So with your collection then, do you predominantly keep the same stuff sort of on display, or do you mix it about if you don't have the room to display it? Or do you sort of like, right, okay, this next few months I'm going to have Star Wars, G.I. Joe. Then after a few months, do you take it down and go, yeah, let's put some motor up there or something else? Or do you just stick with what you've...
It's so, like I said, it just kind of in here is new, so I'm kind of figuring it out. But before I had everything was displayed. I had one room that was all Star Wars, and then I was able to have the Motu and G.I. Joe in another room. But so here I'm kind of spreading out a little bit more, and I think I'll stick to that. Like so down here, I want this to all be Star Wars, so it can kind of stay out. Now I might have to rotate it around a little bit. Truth be told, all my prequel stuff or sequel stuff is in the closet, and I'll probably never get that out again. But newer stuff comes out, and I want, if it's something I'm interested in, I want to get it. But I'm kind of I like to keep stuff kind of grouped, if that makes sense. So
yeah, for sure.
This is all whatever movie or whatever. Everyone does that kind of differently. But I'd like to keep most of it out as much as possible. And if I can't, it'll go in the closet, and then maybe down the line switch it out a little bit. But I'll probably try to keep everything separated as far as property. That's just kind of how I think.
No, it's good. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different way of doing stuff like that, and that's what makes this series in particular really interesting, because everybody's different. And to me, I go by that there is no right way to collect, and there's no wrong way to collect. Everybody's like an individual. You collect what you want. If you don't like it, you walk on by that, and that's not for me. If you like it, then fine, great. And everybody's different. Everybody likes different things, and I find these chats really, really interesting, and I think they're quite inspiring. If I'm honest, it's so good to hear like-minded people just telling their story, sort of thing, of how they got into collecting and stuff like that.
And that's what I've liked about it is, like I like to put things a certain way, but other people like to have things a certain way. And it's really cool to see that, right? It's like, well, I wouldn't do that, but wow, look at that. That's a really, when someone's got like 1,000 figures on one shelf, it's like, holy cow, look at all this. Like, I couldn't do that. I got to have them all, spread out. So it's really neat to see how people do different things. And that's what I really kind of enjoy, I guess, about other people collecting, right? So with the internet now and YouTube and all this stuff, I can see how other people do things. And I don't know anybody personally that does this. Everybody I know that does it is online or, somewhere else. And it's really cool to connect like this, even if it's, through the internet. I can see what other people are up to and what they're doing. And that's really enjoyable.
No, they're absolutely awesome. And on that note, Trenten, that has come to the end of the interview, I'm afraid. That's pretty much an hour. On the hour almost. So it's been absolutely fantastic chatting to you, man. It really has.
Yes.
Again, thank you so much for taking the time out and accepting to come on the series. I really do appreciate it. I would say, is there anywhere they can find you? People find you, Instagram, or is it just on a Discord?
Yeah, just on the Discord as far as Star Wars stuff goes. I do have like an Instagram, but it's mostly fishing pictures.
Okay. Yeah.
And stuff. So on the Discord, and I'm always watching that and seeing what other people are up to. And man, it's awesome. Like I said, it's like all these people everywhere, and they're getting this first, and they're getting that. And it's like it's so cool. So I've just been following that, and I chime in every now and again if I feel like I have something that other people might want to see. So yeah.
Well, it's always good seeing what other people have got and stuff like that. So yeah. Trenten, once again, thank you so much, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you everybody for watching. Cheers for your support, and we shall see you guys in the next video. Take care now. Bye bye.